Parker.
We all talk one now. What up, people? I'm here live. Prince Fuad ain't going anywhere. I want my two favorite people, the marvelous one, Kenny, and the hitman, Vandy. What's going on, people? Boxing. Let's start it off, Kenny. Start it off, man.
Well,
What's going on
well,
this weekend with the
first,
with the
first,
Benz?
well, first and foremost, we've got a massive fight this weekend. I think what's happened is that it's been very, very well promoted by Calla Sauerland and Eddie Hearn. They've done a fantastic job in getting the British people involved in this fight. You know, they've really sold. You know, like I said, both the name Eubank and Ben. You know, the fact is that everyone who's casual, and that's who pay the money in boxing, they're talking about the fight. They were on GMTV last week with both their promoters, fantastic. And I think it's been a very, very good promotion. In terms of the fight itself, if I was Chris Eubank Jr., you know, whatever happens, the fight's going to happen anyway. So don't worry about losing a few £100,000 over the rehydration clause, because you got to think your health, not your money. Because the fact is that you have to win this fight. You know, if he wants to be taken serious as a boxer, then he has to win it. He has to take this fight. If he doesn't want to be taken serious as a boxer, you have to retire if you lose this fight. You really seriously have to retire. Conor Ben's got nothing to lose. If he loses this fight or gets a draw, big deal. All it's going to do is give him enough confidence to go on. But in terms of Conor Ben, there isn't anywhere for him to go because the welterweight division is way too strong. And you know, they ain't gonna want to fight Conor Ben at all, because what does he bring to the table? Yeah, he's got a big TV station about him. I know money talks in boxing, but you know, a lot of these fighters in the welterweight division levels above him, and the ones coming low divisions coming up to welterweight, moving up, their levels above him as well. So he's got to jump through a lot of hoops to get that world title. But Chris Eubank Jr. time's running out. You know what I mean? Big time running out.
What's your take on the fight, Durant?
Well, yeah, just doubling up on what Kenny said, for sure. Like, they promoted it amazingly. I do think they missed a trick. I think they could have done bigger than the O2. But it's a weird one, because I don't think it sells out a Wembley 90,000. But if they could get somewhere between 40, 50,000, I think it could do it, because it's just a massive fight. It's just a massive fight. I think I've always said, like, the weight difference is just too much for me to even think that it's going to be anything decent past 8 rounds. But just to build up, just the fact that two sons of two legends are fighting each other, I don't think we'll ever see this in our lifetime again. So the fact that we're getting to see it this Saturday, that's half of the fight I'm buzzing for. Just to see the two fathers there in the ring at the same time, and just bring back the old fights, and then having the sons go at it as well. It's just, yeah, it's just going to be a show. It's going to be a crazy, crazy show. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I look at it like this, innit? It's like people will say, like, that Conor Ben, like, if he loses to Eubank, has he got anywhere else to go? Will it affect his career, or do you think it won't affect it? Do you think big fighters are taking serious, because he has been like I want him to win the fight, and I think he could win the fight, but he has been dropped by people who ain't been recognised in the game.
Yeah.
So is he taking that big risk? What do you think? Is he taking a risk?
Not really. I think to a certain extent, no, because simple reasons. By fighting a bigger man, that would that potentially could set him up in big, good stead for the big guys. You know, Josh Taylor's, that eventually he's going to have to fight further down the line. You know, bigger guys. You know, he might have to fight. You know, Jack Catterall's a good fight, and obviously the fight that a lot of people sadly will never get, and it wouldn't sell as big as, is Avanesian as well. So
yeah,
you know, these are the sort of fights that that he could have. But Eddie Hearn wants to accelerate his career. Even, let's get it right, Eddie Hearn's a promoter. He's not his manager, and I'm sure that as we know in boxing, the managers have a more sway, because they've worked for the fight, and the promoter's just there to promote. But if he's listening to Eddie Hearn, then I can tell you one thing: Eddie Hearn is going to always make the financial market argument for him not to fight Evanesian. But in terms of like, because the Eubank name is massive and because he sells a few tickets, he's going to say, right, you beat this guy. People in America will take notice because this fight's going stateside. So this is where this is a win-win for Conor Benn. But if he loses, depends how he loses, isn't it? If it's a case where it goes to split decision and it becomes controversial, you know what's going to happen, don't you? Rematch.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what's in it. What's in it for for Conor Benn. But in terms of where Conor Benn's going to go, as I said earlier, he's born in the wrong era because the era he's born in is that there's so many no side.
Yo,
there's so many.
The King of the North. King of the North, is it now?
Yeah, there's so many world-class fighters in that division, the welterweight division, and even people coming at junior welterweight coming up, to 140, 147. There's a lot of fighters who, there's some big fights out there for Conor, but whether Conor will win them, I have my doubts because I can think of about 5 or 6 fighters right now. If they went and win with Conor Benn, they're stopping him.
Yeah,
in that division, within junior welterweight and welterweight.
No side. Who you got winning for the fight? Conor Benn versus Eubank. Who have you got, North?
Conor Benn, man. Conor Benn, come on. But it's only personal preference, really. Like, Eubank's got the experience, but I love the way that Conor Benn fights, man. He's so explosive. Like, he just resembles his dad so much. But it's more hope than anything else. I do think that Eubank has got what it takes. But Eubank's been hurt before. He's not undefeated. I think you can get at Eubank. But yeah, I'm hoping Conor Benn. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I got Conor Benn. I hope Conor Benn beats him. Only because he's younger and more exciting for the sport, isn't it? But with Chris Eubank, one thing I like about him, he knows how to sell a fight. It's like he said. It's like, do you know what he said? Did you see that tweet he put out? He put it 2 weeks ago. He was like, the sex stops now. Stuff like that. Like, he cracks me
he's
up,
playing
bro.
mind games the whole camp.
Whole fight, yeah.
He's been on it, man. Going the other day when he was in that steak place, or eating burgers the week before. It's all mind games, and he's rattled Thing a little bit, man. He has rattled Conor a little bit. You can see, even when they were on GMTV the other week, it was a couple of days ago, you could see like Eubank was getting under his skin just the way he was belittling him. You could see it affected him, man. So I think his temperament, Eubank's going to play on that in the fight, and he'll just jab him for a little bit, and then I think when he really starts putting it on him, it could be a long night for Conor.
Big up Spursy. But you know what? Someone's saying if Eubank comes out, if Conor comes out gun blazing, it might fall into Eubank's trap. Because I think he's winding him up for him to come out like that. Because
yeah, of course. And he will.
Eubank got power.
He's not going to box through a game plan. He might for the first couple of rounds, but he won't be able to stick to it. Because Eubank will be talking to him constantly, be winding him up. And I think he'll just want to scrap, and that'll be the worst thing you could do is try and have a scrap with him.
The question I got for you three, if Eubank lands a beauty on him, is Conor getting up? That's the question for the three.
No chance.
Kenny, what's your take on that?
Well, in Eubank's last fight, the fight that of notice, he fought. He fought Liam Williams, and he was putting Liam Williams down with jabs, where he was jabbing him, but he was bending his arms, and turning. It was like a jab come left hook. Now Conor Benn, his defense has to be really, really good. He's going to come really explosive. But the thing about it is that reach, it could be stopped. And Chris Eubank, one thing about him is that when he unloads, he does throw combinations, whether they're powerful or not. Is irrelevant. If they're catching you regularly and accurately, then you are going to go eventually, and you will be stopped. And that's the one thing about Conor Benn is that he's going to fall into that kind of trap where Eubank is going to, instead of putting his hands up, he's going to fight with his shoulder, and then use his shoulder and use the balls of his feet to get out of trouble rather than use his hands. I mean, he's going to buy into all that stuff. Like Chris Eubanks Jr. has told everyone he's training himself. Don't believe that for 1 minute, mate.
No.
That's a game tactic.
No.
Yeah, don't believe, when he's going to like these Argentinian steakhouses. Don't believe for 1 minute that that he's trying to put on weight. In fact, everyone knows that if you're a sportsman, one of the things that keeps your weight down is protein. It doesn't put weight on; it's the carbs that put weight on.
Yeah.
What about you, Andrew? Do you think if he lands in, he's going to knock him out?
He's got the ability, but yeah, like I'm just excited for the fight. I'm no boxing expert. I'm just excited for this fight, the history of the dads and everything. And yeah, Eubank has actually surprised me. I've actually, I like his banter. I like the way he tries to get under Conor Benn's skin. And yeah, man, Conor's not really proven, innit? Like this is going to be his biggest challenge. And when Eubank was saying, look, you haven't been tested at this level, that is true. But we'll see. Maybe the fights come premature. I'm not too sure. I just want Conor Benn to win. Like I just like his style of fighting. I like Kenny Ken said, I like his combinations. Even his dad said the boxing ability that he had is on another level to his dad. Is he ready? I don't know. His dad had more power, but Conor Benn is the more skillful fighter. So let's see. Let's see if that will get him the win against Eubank.
Yeah, it's gonna be explosive. Big up Craig, big up everyone in the chat, big up Spursy. Yeah, it's gonna be explosive. It's just, I'm looking forward to that fight, and I think it's gonna live. I think the way Eubank's going by it, and the way he's built up the fight, it's definitely gonna be a crazy fight because when you're coming up and like he's there with his KFC. Yeah, I'm not taking this guy serious. You get me? Conor Benn must be in his house, and I don't care. He's a human being. He is thinking this guy's taking a mick out of me, bro. Man's eating KFC on live TV. Well, I can't really take him serious because I'm going in 60%. So stuff like that,
Do you guys think he's real that he's going to retire if he loses to Conor Benn?
I think so.
Good question, people.
I think so. If he can't beat Conor Benn, who's naturally 2 weight smaller than him, and literally only been at 147 for 2 years, because he was 140 before this. If he can't beat him, then he's not. What's the point of calling out the Triple Gs and people like that? Because if you can't beat Conor Benn, you're not going to stand a chance against Triple G. So you may as well just call it a day. Like you said, he's got enough money as it is. So
the question is, where say for instance, all right, Eubank beats him. This is for Kenny. Where did you go for there, Ken? So if Eubank beats Conor Benn, where does you go?
Well, what happens to Eubank? It's another win. It's another win. The fact is that, if the fight's been shown in the United States, then what will happen is that promoters, TV stations, one thing is that they're attracted to more than one thing is a fighter who's winning. Most importantly, someone who can put bums in the seats. If those numbers transcend to the United States, and they're in kind of like the evening time in the United States, especially around like California, New York, and he puts on a whale of a performance, that helps Eubank. That helps him a lot because simple reason is that people ain't gonna care that that he's fought a fight that's probably 2 weight classes beneath him. All they're going to care about is how he looks. Yeah. So if he puts in a really good performance, people will be interested. If he puts in a really good performance and it goes to split position, but he looks classy, it helps him get these big fights because there's going to be a lot of people. The thing about him is that the middleweight division is there for him, but there's some bloody good fighters there, isn't it? But they don't bring money to the table. But Chris Eubank Jr. is bringing money to the table. What will happen is that these guys would want to fight him because of this. So it's in his best interest to look good because it's going to be on a massive stage. The US market, I'll say it was a great respect. US boxing fans are turning off a bit of boxing, especially their stars. So the actual people that they're actually watching are the British stars, UK stars. So what will happen is that an American, middleweight champion will think, yeah, I'll fight this guy because he brings me numbers. It's a shame because
I wouldn't be surprised
if
the Charlo brothers, the 160 Charlo, I think it's Jamel. I wouldn't be surprised if Eubank wins in fashion if they get a call from Al Heyman to make that fight, because like you said, everyone's looking over here for the pay-per-view stars because they kind of leaving there, because the Charlos, I look at them and they should be big names in America, but they're not really. But if Eubank does well this weekend and like you said, it transcends to America, then I wouldn't be surprised if the Charlos and Al Heyman are giving him a call and giving him a shot at one of them titles. I think he's got the WBC at 160 potentially. Well, he's definitely got one of the belts at 160, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Charlo versus Eubank.
Yeah, that's a good point you got there, because Charlo and Eubank could actually be in the making. You know, Al Heyman.
The press conference will go off as well. Trust me, because the Charlos are just mad as it is, bro.
And he's mad too.
Yeah, the twins are just crazy. And Eubank would play on it like mad, and it'd sell. I think it'd do good numbers as well.
Yeah, that's a fight there for him. But he was just saying, Craig was just saying in the chat, didn't he? The fight we all want to see is Crawford and Errol Spence. Is that happening now, or is there still politics behind it?
No, it's. I think what's happening is that's very going to be. It's the thing with boxing fights and everything. We're probably going to get to that when we get to Fury, versus AJ or wherever that happens.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
There's so many things you've got to talk about. You know, ticket sales, TV, promotions, sponsorships as well. You know, and that's the problem with the United States as well. There's two. That Dana White has done a demolition job on American US boxing. He's done a really good job on there. The fact that they don't have a world heavyweight champion as well, that doesn't help as well. So really and truly, that fight is going to be really, really hard to make because of the fact that there's loads of things because at the end of the day, both of them be asking for big money. They got to find like a venue that's been able to cover their wishes. Then they got to find a TV stations, pay-per-view numbers as well. Is it going to and you know what I mean? How they sell it as well, sponsors as well. So it's not an easy fight to make because they got to get it right, man. They've got to get it right because it's
right, 100%.
This could be the fight of the century.
This is. Go on, Ken. Go on.
Which is sad. It saddens me, man, because full well, if this been in the United Kingdom, fight gets made just like that, mate. It sells, mate. Yeah. You could take if you could even take the Saudi Arabia's would be interested in a fight like that if it was two British fighters. And that's one of the things is they need to obviously you're gonna want to get a piece of the United States money and everything and fight at Las Vegas. But I'll tell you one thing, they could do with getting someone from Saudi Arabia to have showing interest in that. That's where the money is. You know what I mean? Don't listen to all these do-gooder journalists like Oliver Holt. Oh, people should be ashamed taking Saudi money because of human rights record. These boxers need to eat.
Yeah, 100%. And one thing we'll touch on now is last week when we had the last show about the boxing, we was talking about Tyson Fury and his mind games on Joshua. Now I see reverse psychology happening now. I see Joshua playing the mind games on them because I look at it like this. They're saying to Joshua, sign a contract. Joshua said, I'm going to sign it, but I'm going to sign it on my terms with my legal party. And when everything's clarified and right, I'll sign it. And then you've got Eddie Hearn coming out saying, well, Tyson Fury saying, oh, well, I got deadline days. He said Tyson Fury's deluded. So where's your take on all out, lads? What's your take on it, boys?
So me personally, I think Tyson Fury's had a howler of a week. So he was riding high. Joshua just on the back of 2 losses. And then he's come out saying, I'll fight Joshua. And he's giving it all of this. And the fight's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he was ever going to fight Joshua. Like I said, when we talked last week or the week before, it was just too soon. I think they tried to force Joshua into it quickly, but he never really wanted Joshua. It was already booked, which made me think they've already got an opponent. Manuel Char's been singing for weeks. I think it's always just been Manuel Char, but they're just trying to degrade Joshua even more and make him out like as if he's ducking the fight, which, even though, like I said, I still got Fury to beat Joshua, Anthony Joshua's not ducking a fight. Let's be honest, Anthony Joshua has taken every challenge that's been there in front of him. That's one thing we can't say about Anthony Joshua. He hasn't ducked a fight. The Wilder fight should have happened, but I think that was more politics rather than Joshua not wanting to fight Wilder. But he fought everyone else. If anything, Fury, you can look at his resume compared to Joshua's and say, well, actually, Joshua's actually fought the better opponents. But yeah, I think he's had a bit of a stinker these last couple of weeks, Fury. And he's looking a bit all over the shop, setting deadlines, then saying, "Oh, I'll give him another couple of days." And then when he announces it's going to be Manuel Char, I think it's not a great look for him. And even Eddie Hearn said today on one of his interviews, which I was just listening to before we come on now, he said they've even sent over a contract offer to Derek Chisora. So he's scrambling for an opponent for December 3rd now. So it hasn't been the greatest week for Tyson Fury.
What's your take on that, Ken? What's your saying?
Well, the thing about Tyson Fury is that, like sometimes when you try to bluff the public and bluff the fighter, try to make a stand, it becomes a bit of a problem for you when they call your bluff. So when they call your bluff, you try to bluff the public again by saying, "All right, I'm giving you deadlines," when really and truly he's no one's fool. The other day his management team and Anthony Joshua's management team are the ones who deal with it. I think you guys need to get over to Sporting Icons because he breaks it down perfectly, because that's what I've been trying to say for a long time to a lot of boxing fans. The reason why he went to AJ in the first place is, one, because he knows AJ brings a lot to the table, 10 times more than Fury. AJ's a publicly limited company. AJ makes money. Right now, AJ's making money. He's got so many sponsors in the Far East, UK, US, Europe, every corner of the world. AJ's got sponsors to satisfy. You know what I mean? AJ, you know what I mean? Whilst Fury has sponsors, but they're not as much as AJ. So he's bringing all of that to the table. And then, so obviously, Fury, they've got to negotiate the cut, because Fury's going to want a cut of the sponsorship as well. Plus, there's the TV stations as well between BT, who Fury's contracted to, and DAZN, who AJ's contracted to. You don't just go there after 2 weeks or so, I'm fighting AJ, and you want the fight to be made just like that. It doesn't work like that. If you really want to fight AJ, you should have been in negotiations with him for months. You know what I mean? This fight doesn't get made overnight. And we've got December the 3rd. Again, if you want a big fight like that, you need to rest yourself, man, and relax yourself. And, calm yourself down, mate. Because really and truly, don't con the public, because, there's a lot of people who are casual fans are going to believe that one fighter's running away, one promoter's running away, and the other's running away. And we need to understand it's about business. A lot of boxing fans, who know how the fight game inside out, know what goes on behind the scenes. And so does Tyson Fury. You can't pull all over people's eyes. You've got to be patient. Mate. Trust me. Tyson Fury's trying to say I'm a really good promoter, like I sell a fight. Trust me, mate. He ain't a patch on AJ. AJ can sell that fight, but just keep his gob shut. Because he's AJ.
Yeah, he doesn't. Anthony Joshua, fair dues. He doesn't need anyone to sell his fight. He's just the face of Britain of boxing. Regardless if he lost twice to Usyk, it doesn't matter. Anthony Joshua, as Kenny said, hit it on the nail. Like he's got all the sponsors, all the backing, all the pros. And that's why it takes so long. It's like when Tyson Fury sent him over the contract, it's like Eddie Hearn's come out and said it today. He said the guy's deluded. He knows that we got to sit there and read the terms of the contract. You can't just go and sign it. And whoever said, Dillian White come out and said it. He said they're pushing Shua, thinking he's going to sign it. He's the biggest name in boxing in Britain, regardless if he lost. Regardless, if Joshua signs that contract, Cardiff Stadium will be sold in an hour. There's no issue with that. Like them Londoners are coming down. We already know when we've got Joshua down here how nice it is. Do you know what I mean? you know, everyone becomes a taxi driver for one night.
Well,
Just be, you know, Jeremy. Yeah, I tell you straight, bro. I become a taxi driver, bro. You know, everyone's doing it. Joshua brings money to the economy, bro, especially in Wales. Jeremy, remember, you know, so Joshua's everywhere he goes. And when he fought Parker and he fought thing down here, the French one,
Taka.
is it Taka? Do you see it was madness down here. So we fight Tyson Fury. It's gonna be amazing. But I just think Tyson Fury. I think, like Kenny said, a lot of football, a lot of boxing fans who don't know boxing will now figure them out. Like, because to fight for that title and to put everything on the line, it's not gonna take 1 week. And you to have a deadline day is stupid. If you want to fight in December, make it December the 17th. Or do you get me? Don't make it December the 3rd.
Yeah.
Extend, you know, if you really want to fight him, and that's what Joshua was saying. He's saying that if you really want to fight, there's no point having in your terms. I know you're the lenient champion of WBC, but if you want to fight and make this fight happen, meet in the middle. He's already agreed to 60-40. So make the date longer, and I think that fight will happen. But Eddie Earl said they're still in talks, isn't it? That's what he said today. So
it's not going to happen, fool. It's not going to happen, man. It could sell out Principality in 5 minutes, like you said. It can, but it's just not going to happen. They're still, just because they can sell out the Principality in 5 minutes. They want this fight. They want to make as much money as possible. So they'll do a tour around the UK, probably a couple of dates in London, maybe one in Cardiff, one where they have a press conference here and there. We've got it's less than 8 weeks. They need to drain every single penny out of it. Because both of these, a loss for Joshua could be quite bad, but then if Fury loses, then it could be quite bad as well. So they'll want to make sure now there's a lot of money in the fight, but they get every single penny out of it. They'll take us, like I said, they'll stop off at Cardiff. They'll stop off in Manchester, because that's where Fury's based, Manchester based. The stop off in Cardiff. So I think it's not happening.
No side, it's
never going to happen, but
no side. It's a neutral fan. Would you like to see that fight happen in Cardiff, the Tyson Fury and Joshua fight?
Yeah, to be honest, I'd be more interested in Tyson Fury Usyk. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think Joshua, if he gets you hurt, he does have the power to finish his opponent off. But I think Tyson Fury has the skill set and the versatility to beat him. But I just feel like Usyk's the better fighter. I think technically he's a better fighter, if not the best fighter in that division, in my opinion. But I just feel like what goes against Usyk is his height, obviously. And I think that's something that saves Tyson Fury a lot of the times. But Tyson Fury, I feel like, you know, he does a lot of like moving his head and stuff, but his body stays still. He's not the most versatile. And I think AJ can hurt him because he's a big guy. His body doesn't move that much. He just moves his head and his shoulders a little bit. But the target's still in front of you. And I think, you know, I still think he's got enough to hurt AJ, but there is a possibility that I feel like AJ can hurt Tyson Fury. But Usyk, if Usyk was a little bit taller, I think Usyk would be, I think it would be a lot better. You know, that's not something he can really control. You know, you are the height that you are. It is what it is. But I just think Tyson Fury is a little bit of a drama queen. I like Tyson Fury, but I think he's a bit of a drama queen. Like the camera's always going to be on him. One week you're retiring, next week you want to come back out, then you want to fight this guy, then you don't, then you're putting it on him. He's not signing the contract. I just feel like if you're going to retire. Like you always got to have the attention on you. Like, are you retiring or are you not? Like we want to see you fight, but it's always like mind games, bro. I just want to see a fight, innit? Like stop, like do you know what I mean? Are you retiring? You not? I just think Usyk's a great fighter. I think he's incredible. But I would be more interested. I don't care about this. It's all British. I don't give a crap. I just want to see the best fighters go head to head, and I'd be more inclined to see Usyk Tyson Fury. Yeah, man. I don't really care, innit? Like, you know what I mean? Like Tyson Fury, AJ. Yeah, cool. But I rate Usyk above AJ, so I'd rather see that. But Listen, bro, I do have to go. I have to have some dinner.
All right, go do your thing, bro. Nice, thanks for jumping on, man. Nice one, bro.
Big up to you. Like, I don't know
Nice
your
one.
name. I don't know what's your name. bro?
Vandy.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Big up to
Nice
you,
one, man.
Kenny. Big up, bro. Need to get you back on the channel as well, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, look, I'm ready. You know, we got to arrange something, man. You know, when the time's right, we do it, innit? We do it. Remember, you got some big hitters on, and I beat all of them in views. I got no YouTube channel. I got no AFTV behind me, but I beat them all, man. All these people like, what's his name again? Stricto. Yeah, I beat you, Stricto. I thrashed him.
Listen, you gotta talk your thing sometimes, man. Big up to you, Kenny, man. You already know you're always invited. And you're a United fan, yeah? I saw when you went off camera. You're a United fan.
Yeah, me United fan, man. Had to hold that out on the weekend, man.
Glory, Man United.
No, but you know what it is? Unrealistic with him, man. Like, listen, I knew it was coming. A lot of people got gassed a couple of wins in a row. Like, you gotta fucking. This is Man City. We went there naive. You can't go to Man City away with a midfield two of Eriksen and McTominay. But that's another conversation in itself. I thought Ten Hag was a bit naive to go there, thinking
naive.
You're going to keep possessing.
You guys gave up.
Yeah, but I just think tactically he was a bit naive. I think Rashford down the middle was a shocking decision. You can't, with Sancho and Antony on the wings, there's no pace to worry Cancelo or Walker in behind. So I don't know what he was. Yeah, I don't know what the game plan. I just think he just tried to go with the norm. He didn't want to drop McTominay because he's been playing decent, but sometimes you just got to make them big decisions and drop McTominay, play Casemiro. Like Rashford down the middle for me is he's just no good at all down the middle. But
Rashford's your saviour, mate.
No. Rashford's
got pace.
Rashford we trust.
No,
I'm loving to see the demise of you lot. My family are divided: Arsenal fans and Man United fans.
Yeah.
And growing up, your fans were the cockiest, most arrogant, most entitled fans I've ever seen in my life. The amount of crap I heard from some of my cousins. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm loving it. I'm injecting it in my veins. I'm loving it, bro.
Listen, like I said, we gotta take it, man. All them years growing up, man, seeing United win left, right, and centre, and giving it out. So, you know what? Think
about it, right? There's younger fans who are Man United who haven't seen them win.
Oh yeah,
I
of
think
course.
Man United Football Club have got a responsibility to maintain those standards because we had that sort of nonsense at Arsenal and North Side Fred would tell you that where people just thought, "Oh, I'm all right. We're invincibles. We shouldn't be spotted by success." If you support a big club at Arsenal, Man United, you want to win every year. You demand it. Why support a club of those statures if you're philosophical about their success? Man United and Arsenal have to challenge the title every year. Yeah. So do Liverpool, the three biggest clubs in the country. I don't talk about Man City and Chelsea.
Yeah,
I respect that what they've done in terms of they're a big club, but they're not our level in terms of history. And I'm fans. Arsenal and Man United fans should own it. Don't want to live off Moscow where you beat Chelsea in penalties, or you live off Barcelona. And Arsenal fans should live off Henri Bergkamp. We should be having an Henri Bergkamp every year. And that's the theme of it. You know, that's what one of the big clubs about. It's not your fault. You know, if you support a big club, then you should demand success every second. If people are not good enough to play for the club or manage the club, at the door, mate.
Yeah.
That's why I love Kenny, man. That's why I love Kenny. I love it. Northside, how's your cousin who did your show? Listen, bro, he's so disinterested in Man United. I can't remember the last time he's seen a 90-minute game. He's sick of it, bro. He's sick of it, bro. He don't even tell people he's a United fan. But listen, let's not divert. This is a boxing channel, boxing show.
That's all. It's everything, bro. We can talk about football, boxing.
Listen, it is what it is. Listen, guys.
Before you go, Vandy, listen. Vandy, before you go, this is not a setup.
No. I can see 3 against 1. I thought, what's going on? I see you all got who had come with an Arsenal background. I'm thinking, Ras, wait there, yo, is anyone United coming on, or am I gotta throw a couple jabs and move, bro?
Listen, how the mighty have fallen, isn't it? Arsenal and Man United. It is what it is. But listen, big up to you guys. Hope you lot have a good evening as well, man. Chat soon.
Thanks for dropping on, bro.
Thanks, yeah.
No worries, man.
Yes, Yeah, Kenny, I was going to say to you about the Tyson Fury situation. Another thing is, this guy, some guy's been calling him out for weeks. Have you seen this guy? Is he from like? Is he from the Middle East or somewhere?
No, he's from Morocco. It's Char. His name is something Char. I think it's French Moroccan.
Yeah, Mahmoud Char. But he trains out. He trains out of he trains in Germany at the moment. But I think he's Moroccan. But that's the fight. I think it's been signed for weeks because this guy was calling out Fury and saying I'm fighting Fury before Fury even mentioned Joshua's name. So I think he's just been signed.
It's a payday for his fight. Fury's a payday, and Fury's they booked the Cardiff Millennium Stadium. I'm sure they're going to want to sell that at pay-per-view, and Tyson Fury is very confident that he's now a pay-per-view fight, and people will watch it because Tyson Fury will get the views, but he won't make the numbers. Because one of the things, and that's one of the things that people need to. People need to think about two things as well. When you talk about Tyson Fury AJ or Tyson Fury versus Usyk, the thing you need to talk about and own right is the fact it's the undercard, because the undercard makes just as much money, can make money for the main event, because you think about the undercard, right? Some fighters on that undercard, say like a Johnny Fisher, Johnny Fisher from Watford, heavyweight boxer. His dad will go around. His dad's, I think, he's a taxi driver. He goes around all over East End, Essex, and even Kent. He'll bring about a few thousand of him just to watch him fight, and they'll stay for your own event. So the undercard, that's because when he's fighting, Chart, who's going to be on the undercard? Because all intents and purposes, a lot of people were very critical of the undercard, Wembley, between Tyson Fury and Dillian White, where Dillian White, should have been given an opportunity to use some of his fighters, these managers, to get them on the card and get some more money for himself, and people can sell tickets. But what they've done is that it was a Tyson Fury promotion. He got all his mates, all intents and purposes.
But don't you think it's just them being a bit greedy? Because when I look at the four undercards, the undercards at the end of the day is the main event. They decide, well, do I give a little bit more of my cut to the undercard to sell, and then potentially sell more pay-per-views, so then I get more. I think the Wembley one with Dillian White, I think they both it was Fury's card. He just looked at this. I'm taking all this money for myself. I'm going to sell Wembley.
That'll make you right, because the whole problem started because of the fact that Dillian White wanted more money, because as the interim champion, he should have got at least 35%, 40%, which is right. He should have. And then you had a situation where no matter what happened, Tyson Fury was getting 30 million.
Yeah.
No matter what happened, how he's going to get 30 million didn't matter. And it's about who he doesn't bring. In terms of sponsorship, they should have utilised Dillian White as well, because Dillian White, although under Matchroom, has brought a lot of has had a lot of pay-per-view fights. Now, Dillian White wouldn't be a pay-per-view fighter if he wasn't bringing the numbers. You don't just put him on. You don't just put him on pay-per-view because he has a few tear-ups. It's all about money and numbers and success rates and breaking even, and him making money, and the promoters making money, and Sky making money. I don't think Frank Warren and Tyson Fury's management thought about that through. They're going to have to come to that conclusion when they fight AJ. They're not going to get away with that with AJ. In fact, they're going to be thanking AJ because of what he brings to the table. And I think that's why. And that's why I think with Tyson Fury, I say this humbly, but I talk from experience of facts. And I'll tell you why. I was at Billy Joe Saunders fight against Chris Eubank, and on the card, the main event was Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora.
Yeah.
I can categorically say that the fight just before that, Chris Eubank Jr. and Billy Joe Saunders, the undercard fight, sold out a lot of tickets. Billy Joe Saunders brought all these traveller fans. Remember, Tyson Fury's a traveller. But Billy Joe Saunders fans full of travellers. As soon as Billy Joe Saunders fight finished, all of the Billy Joe Saunders fans and the travellers left. The main event, there was hardly anyone in there. The main event was Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora. Now, I could say, in my experience, albeit 8 years ago, Billy Joe Saunders, from what I saw, has got a bigger following with the Trafford community than Tyson Fury. Now, that was 8 years ago. Whether that's changed, it could be. Because when I went to Wembley, there was a lot of travellers there. Because Tyson Fury doesn't have many fans. He has a lot of fans now. And I say this respectfully, but I can say it to you guys because he's the GWH. And I'll leave it at that.
I know exactly.
Kelly, there's a question now for both of you. This is an interesting question, all right? It's a question here by Ali, but I think it's the same thing. Who would win, Wilder or Joyce? And Ali put a question too. These two questions here said, do you think Fury has been stealing the limelight of the fighters like Joey Joyce by attending the fight and giving him interviews after the fight? So that's a question for you.
I'll hit this one up first.
Fury, go on, hit it up. Go on, Van. Hit it up to Kenny. It's a beautiful question.
He loves stealing the limelight, Fury. His name has to be linked with everything. Every time someone's name gets up, Joshua, he's used Joshua's name. Joe Joyce, that was a big win for Joe Joyce. He just beat a former world champion and he beat him up bad. Why are you there then trying to say, oh, well, yeah, actually he's number 2. Just leave him alone. Just let him have his night. You just worry about getting this Joshua fight over the line rather than just always being... He loves the limelight because unlike Joshua can walk anywhere and he'll be known. Where Fury, I feel he has to make himself heard that, oh, I'm Tyson Fury, I'm the heavyweight, I'm this, I'm that. Where Joshua can just walk anywhere and everyone knows Joshua. Where Fury just needs to make a noise where everywhere he goes. So for me, he definitely loves the limelight, and I didn't like what he did to Joe Joyce because he took away from what a great victory that was for him that night.
Kenny, what have you got to say on this?
Well, the thing about it is that the thing with boxers right now, boxing is a very, very small community.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other. Everyone's sparred each other, especially within the divisions. They got the same friends, and some of them are mates. And the thing is that I think ultimately, Joseph Parker is become very, very close with Tyson Fury. He's been allowed into his his gang or his clique, the traveller clique. So I think what it is with Tyson Fury is that he's there to support Joe Joyce, and boxing is a very small community. Big fight, everyone turns up. Everyone turns up to the fight, you know what I mean? But let me tell you something now. He ain't a patch on Derek Chisora. So Derek Chisora's at that fight, and I've been to a lot of boxing meets, and Derek Chisora turns up to every fight envelope, going up and saying, I want to fight you, man.
Yeah,
him and Derek Chisora pretending they're not friends, but they're very good friends. Derek Chisora is a very good teacher, the best of the business when it comes to gate crashing an event. I was at an event with when George Groves fought James DeGale. Before the fight, Derek Chisora got in Tyson Fury's face because they're about to fight. Tyson Fury takes his shirt off. Derek Chisora runs off. Tyson Fury's about to chase him. He's held back. That was 11 years ago. Derek Chisora and Tyson Fury. So Derek Chisora, man, he's a great teacher when it comes to stealing limelight. Trust me, Derek Chisora will be making a prat of himself at the O2 because he's trying to get the promotions, buying everyone a hamburger, and he'll be there next week for the women's event. Derek Chisora, he's a great teacher.
Yeah, he knows how to. I don't know. He knows how to psych up a fan base, bro. Put it that way. It's like that time when he went with what's his name, the Klitschko was with the Klitschko. He slapped one of the brothers in it. Oh, he just knows what he just knows how to.
He spat in one of the faces of he bloody that was and then after when David Hay lost to Klitschko, and then they had that fight, and then they fought it. Was it Where did they fight it? Was it West Ham Stadium they fought at the time? I can't even remember now.
I can't remember. Yeah,
But,
it was. You're up to
yeah, I
back.
think
What's
it was
happening,
West Ham
Lucas?
Stadium.
I'm
How's
good, man.
Lucas
I'm good,
doing?
man.
Are you doing
Yeah.
all right? Do you like your boxing,
Yeah.
Lucas? Or
No, I don't. But we can talk about it. So
now we're just talking about like the mind games of like Tyson Fury and Joshua.
I
Like,
thought it was an
responding.
Arsenal stream.
Fuad, I'm a bit hungry, man, so I'm gonna have to leave you, man. But Luca,
All right, then
nice
bro.
to talk again, yeah?
Yeah,
I'll
it's
speak
all right,
to you
no worries,
soon.
man.
Nice, thank you.
That's all, man.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about the football, is it? With Vandy and now, is it?
Let's
Vandy,
talk
Lucas.
football. Let's talk football,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk football now. Come on, then. So Lucas, what was your question about the chat? What was it? You was talking about Manchester City, is it? And or the top four? You said in one of the what you say? Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and Arsenal. That's your prediction.
Yeah, I think top four is. I think we'll get top four. I don't think Chelsea will get top four. Yes, they might actually. Yes, they're getting Christopher and Conky coming in next year. That's great. But I just think they won't get top four because of the change of Thomas Tuchel. Yes, and they just scraped the result against Crystal Palace. And I think we'll get fourth. I do think we will.
Yeah, do you know what is all right? It's what I was saying this to someone yesterday. I think I was seeing it earlier on when I was live with Aussie Gunn, and I said the more Man City beats the teams around us, like the teams of Chelsea, Man United, and we keep winning, is more for us to guarantee to finish top four because everyone's saying Liverpool are going to finish second. Now Liverpool play Arsenal on the weekend. Now if Arsenal beats them, they gotta hope we lose 4 games.
Yeah.
They gotta hope for us to lose 4 games.
Do you think we'll beat Liverpool? Do you think
I think we'll beat Liverpool, yeah. But then they play Man City a week after.
We got to play Man City.
No.
Yeah, but like I said to Aussie Gunner earlier on, the only way Arsenal beats Man City is by not playing them. So thank God we're not playing them on the 20th of August, bro. That's the truth, bro. You know, that's all. You see that yesterday. You see how Haaland say, bloody hell. I said earlier on, I'm going to repeat myself. I told them the only way you stop Haaland from scoring goals is you go and employ a bricklayer and build a brick and goals, and it might not go in.
It's
Till then,
just defend. That's what it is. You have to defend. It's not just about get a better team. And I know we don't have players like Manchester City, but the only way you could stop Man City is a bit of luck.
Yeah, but do you know, it's like, are you going to get that luck? That's the thing.
When's the last time we beat Man City in the league?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm glad we're not playing them.
No, we don't. We were supposed to play them in October, so we're clearly
no. We meant to play them on the 20th of November.
Oh.
But we're playing the Europa League game. So what they'll do around the New Year, we'll play them twice in the same week. So, but that if anything, that works out better for Arsenal because if we still got this point gap between us, like if they beat us twice, people are like, oh, you lost to Man City. Yeah, but all the teams around them got to go to the Etihad and they're going to lose to them anyway. So it don't make a difference if we lose or beat them.
It is good because say if we still like, look, I'm not saying we're going to be top from now until January, but you never know because we've got tough games. But say if we were like comfortable top 4 by January, it wouldn't really matter about Man City twice. That's why it's
exactly. It's the points now. Go on, Van.
Yeah, no, listen, it's still early days in the league, but I think you guys just winning every week. This is banking important points because at the moment, teams are losing against everyone. So we're losing. Like we went on a 4-game running streak. We lost 3 on the bounce. Chelsea, even though they beat Crystal Palace, were poor the other week. Liverpool are up and down. Like 1 week they look decent. Well, they beat Bournemouth and then they go and draw to Brighton. So while everyone else is trying to find their form and you guys are just collecting these points, like Fuad said, when you play Man City back to back, even if you don't win them both games, you've got enough in the back pocket already where others are having to chase. So look, like United, we've got Everton on Sunday. The following week, we got to go to Tottenham, come to Old Trafford. And I think the following week, then we go to Chelsea. So we're facing two of the guys that you're going for top 4 against. And if we win them 2 games, or if we lose them 2 games, like during them weeks, I don't know who you've got after Liverpool, but if you pick up a 3 points then, that's just you stretching away even more. So, like, I think I know it's super early, but I think top 4, and I know it's early, but for you guys, is looking really good because all you're doing is just winning while other teams are still trying to find a flow of just winning. And yeah,
it's early, Van, but the fact of the matter is, people are forgetting something. You know, in this October, they're going to be compact games.
yeah.
So if we win, like when you guys are playing all end games, we're going to be playing like we play Leeds, we play Leeds or Nottingham Forest.
We've got Leeds and Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So for
Yeah,
you guys,
3-0.
like,
Yeah.
I look at it, and for you guys, in my thinking now, when I'm thinking, okay, United, because I'm a United fan, top 4, I'm thinking Man City are going to finish top 4. They're probably going to win the league. Arsenal are banking points now. So in my eyes, and I know it's very early, but in my eyes, you guys have got top 4. Just because after the World Cup, there's going to be a whole load of players that are just knackered, etc. So that could be a bit of a madness. But I'm looking at you two, Man City and Arsenal, as top 4 in my head. So I'm thinking there's 2 more spaces.
Do you think it's a good idea to have players like Thomas Partey go into the World Cup? Because Kieran Tierney is good for us because Scotland are not in any tournament as well. So that will help Kieran Tierney get fit. And Zinchenko as well is not going to the World Cup, I don't think. So that will help us. But there's some players there, but we need to keep the likes of Saliba, Partey, Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel. These are our key players that are helping us winning games. And if we lose any of those, it could be deja vu. That's why I think the January transfer window is so important, because if we don't get top 4 with this manager, then I think Arteta's got to go, in my opinion. He gets to the end of the season, right?
But then don't you think, also look at some of the players you named, like, is Saliba guaranteed starter for France? I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but is he a guarantee? Because they seem to go with what they've got set. So there's less chance of him getting injured. Is Partey going to go deep into the World Cup? There's a chance, but I don't really see it.
Ghana will probably only get out of the group, maybe.
So these players will be coming back earlier for you. So it's like the teams, like even Man City, they're like Haaland free, but Belgium will go far.
Martin Odegaard his team are not going to the World Cup, I don't think.
Yeah, so it's not. I think it's not as bad for Arsenal as it could be for some of the other teams where their players are more likely to go deeper into the World Cup. And don't forget, as soon as the World Cup finishes, I think there's a Premier League game maybe 2 days after the final.
Yeah,
if I'm right.
Yeah.
So if you're getting them players back 2 weeks early, like, I think you just got to manage the game time with, especially with Partey, because I've noticed, like.
You know what I would do? Like we've got a game on Thursday. I'd rest Thomas Partey. I would not have him.
He doesn't need to play.
We don't need to play because we're at home anyway, and we've got Bodo Glimt, and we should smash them, and then get him ready for Liverpool, because Partey was absolutely fantastic on the weekend, and I think I know we've got games coming up this month. I wouldn't play Partey against Nottingham Forest and Leeds in the league, because I know Leeds is a tough place to go. Forest at home, we should beat them.
Yeah.
I know they beat us in the FA Cup
after them games, we knock off for the World Cup, innit?
Yeah.
We play Chelsea.
We've got Chelsea.
And then we go to the World Cup.
Wolves.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, so
we've got Chelsea 6th of November, and then Wolves the following week on the 12th. The 12th, but it's a Saturday night kickoff, and then after
knock off.
Got World Cup for a month. Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying about you guys. You guys got the opportunity to bank a few more points in before.
Yeah, if you have a look at the fixtures this month, right? You take the Liverpool game. The Liverpool game is the best chance we can get some. We've got a really good chance of going unbeaten in October, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm never being optimistic, right? We've got a very good chance to go unbeaten. Like Leeds away, we should beat them. Nottingham Forest are losing every week, so we should beat them at home.
That's ass, bro.
Yeah, but rubbish.
Yeah. Yo, my friends are not no Forest fan. He might be thinking, yo, why is he saying that about my team?
Liverpool would be the tough game. And do I think we'll beat Liverpool the weekend? I think we'll draw the game. I can't see us getting 3 points.
Where to is that?
In the Emirates.
Emirates Stadium.
Yeah. Don't
Because
rule it
Liverpool
out,
will
bro.
be going
Don't rule out the
Liverpool.
W,
Yeah,
man.
don't rule it out. It ain't the same Liverpool, man.
Don't
They
rule
look
out the
at this-
W, man. This ain't the same Liverpool.
Yeah,
Trust
but
me.
Liverpool always raise their game. They've got Diego. If they start Diaz and Jota, I'm worried. But if they don't start Diaz and Jota, and if they play Nunes, Salah, and Firmino, I'm confident we'll win the game.
I think with Partey being there, see, the difference is...
The midfield.
Yeah,
The
it's going to be
midfield-
Partey.
the midfield-
Partey and Xhaka
the midfield-
and Odegaard going to be a big difference.
Yeah.
Last year
Yeah.
without Partey, even though they beat us, like I was at Anfield, all right, even though they beat us 4-1, it wasn't like they dominated the game. It was like they just took all their chances. And the thing
Midfield.
was, they scored from our mistakes. It's like we actually scored the first goal in Anfield. People forget it now. And I thought, oh, Lacazette would have timed his right, the run right. It would be 1-0 to Arsenal first half going in, but he didn't. He was just slightly offside. But this time around, you got Partey in the middle, you got Jesus, you got Zinchenko, and every time Man City plays him, guess who gives them the hardest time ever? Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm going into this game confident a little bit. I'm not saying I can't see him beating us, to be honest with you.
I think we'll draw the game. I think we'll draw 1-1.
I think I can see us. No, I think if we
Would you
because,
take the
listen,
point against Liverpool? Or would you be
Well,
like,
they just do
nah,
with
best
Brighton.
chance in years to beat them?
No, listen, you can't fully discredit Liverpool. Like, if you get a draw, that's still a top result because then you go into you
Craig's
get
right.
you get a draw from Liverpool and then you go into Nottingham
but
Forest
I don't
Leeds. You said
think
and
that is
Leeds
a
Nottingham
factory. See,
Forest.
Craig, you know that victory there when you said we beat Liverpool. We haven't beat Liverpool since 2020. See, Craig, I look at it a different angle. We haven't beaten Liverpool in a competitive game for like 8 years or 7 years because that game, like that year 2020, they've already won the league title. So I don't class that really. They were already partying. So now, with these new set of players and out of this team, these are different. They're going to come up thinking, you know what? Nah, bro, let's give it to them. And if we stick on Liverpool, we'll beat them. I think if we play with that against Tottenham, we'll beat them.
It's about scoring the first goal. If we score the first goal, we're winning the game. We're getting a draw.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
If they score first, they're going to go there with a high intensity. That's how Jurgen Klopp plays. They're going to go there and get us on the break.
Yeah.
I think they're there for the taking as well, man. Like, Martinelli up against Trent's going to be interesting. Like, Jesus against bloody even Van Dijk, because Van Dijk's the drop off this year has been
Why is it that
unbelievable.
people saying that Van Dijk's rubbish? He's clearly not rubbish.
He's not rubbish, but he's not at the powers that he was 2-3 years ago pre the injury. So I think it's just being a bit more exposed because obviously before he was just seen as untouchable, but now he's making mistakes which any centre back can make. But because he was at a certain level, he's being held to that certain level. Because don't forget, people were talking about him being the greatest centre back ever. Like this talk about him being the greatest, which was wide of the market anyway. But now he needs to be held at that. If you want to put him at that level, he needs to be held at that level. So
who do you think's the best centre back in the world right now? I say De Ligt.
I'm not a big fan of De Ligt.
You're not?
Nah. Best centre back in world football right now. Is there a standout?
Anyone really? Rudiger?
Some games he ain't even playing for Real Madrid. I don't know if he played on the weekend.
I don't watch Spanish football that much.
I know the week before he didn't play.
Mel. How are you, Mel? Yeah. Salam, sister.
There's no standout centre back in world football that I think is head and shoulders above everyone else.
You know what, bro? To be honest with you, brother, you know what, bro? If you were, years ago when you say who's the best centre back in the world, you would have said Maldini, Nesta, Jaap Stam, Desai. Now you can't even name one. So do you know what, Van Dijk? Sorry to tell you, bro. Nah, you're not at that level, bruh. I
No,
don't care.
definitely. No, listen,
You
definitely
don't
ain't none of
think
that.
Nah,
Delete-
nah.
You
Bro,
don't
you
think
ain't better than
Delete?
Vidic, bro. You ain't
You
better than
don't.
Ferdinand.
You don't think
Okay.
You don't think
No.
Delite's the best centre back? I think he's world class.
No, he's
He's
a
a good-
talented defender, but I don't think he's lived up to where he initially with that Ajax team. I don't know. There's a few.
Let's see who stands out. You know what? To be honest with you, the World Cup's gonna tell us who stands out, and that's what you say. Yo, he's the baddest centre back in the world.
He is. People are talking about that Inter Milan defender. I forgot his name.
Which one? Skriniar.
Yeah, Skrilla.
Yeah, Skriniar's good.
He's a good defender.
He's a good defender. He's quality.
But I just
Good
feel
defender.
we're in an era now where fucking there's just so many goals in football. It's like every week a centre back's getting skinned up, and you think, right, actually, is he that good? It's just
Yo,
goals
read that
galore,
comment,
bro.
Vandy. Vandy, read that comment. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
No, yeah, he did pocket them, man. But at the same time, where was he at Old Trafford, bro? He was the one that stepped up for Rashford when he shouldn't have
Arsenal
stepped.
never turn up. Arsenal never
No.
turn up
But
at Old
let's not
Trafford. Arsenal don't like going to Old Trafford.
No, but let's call a spade a spade. Like I said, I'm not hating on him because he has pocketed all of them that names along there. But he was in the wrong for the Rashford goal. He stepped up when he shouldn't have been stepping up. He should have tracked Rashford's run. Like I don't know. It's
going to make mistakes.
Yeah, listen, 21 years old, he can make mistakes. He's a fucking baby, but like he's showing potential to go on to be one of the greats, but it's still early days. And like I said, centre backs, there's no star centre back in world football that I think that comes to my mind now at this present moment. That I think, yeah, he's number one, because a couple of years ago you would have said probably Ramos and Van Dijk. And before that, you had like your Ferdinand, your Vidic, your Terry's, and they were names that come to your mind straight away. Now we're talking about Bonucci, but these men are old now. These are, look at the top teams. United, like even Varane. Varane's not at the level he
Panucci's
was.
better. I think Panucci is a good call. You know, he's a good shout.
No, but these men are old now. I'm
35.
But you go back, all right. I know he's old, but if you put a 3-year-old Panucci in the Premier League, he would have done all right.
Yeah. No, but
Thiago Silva's 38.
We're just in a time of attacking players. It's all about goals, and like the art of defending is just gone. Like that's where I was like, when I look at Trent, for all he does going forward, like watching him defend is embarrassing. Like he gets skinned up week on week, but nothing said, because he does get the assist, he does get the goals, etc. But his main job first is defend. He's a defender. So the art of defending is just dying. Like it's just poor. Like we're seeing, like yesterday, 6-3s, and you back in the day, 6-3 used to be a once in a while. Like 6-3s and 7-0s, and it happens every week. You don't know who's gonna. I think Newcastle popped 4 on Fulham the other week, like the other day. Like everyone's scoring 5, 6, 4s, 3s. It's like there's just too many goals in football these days, man. And I know it's all entertainment value and it's good to see, but the art of actually someone locking down someone, like it's just gone. Like where's the first defender that's really going to get hold of Haaland and fucking give him a tough time rather than standing off and being fucking scared of him?
Who can stop Ergen Haaland? There's got to be someone.
I'll give you an answer. A world-class bricklayer.
Nah, but Fuad, like,
yo, he's sick, bro.
But it's like when Van Dijk was defending back in the day. You watch many of the videos, he's defending with aura. People were just scared to run at him.
All players can have tough games, can have bad games.
Yeah, but Van Dijk, do you know what, bro? To be honest with you, was you? It was Craig actually. Craig 87 put a question to us. Said, would you take that toss? What's his name? That striker who scored the hat trick for Brighton.
Ivan Toney.
No, the guy who scored for Brighton. What's his name?
Oh,
Lucas?
for Brighton. Oh, sorry.
Trossard. What's his name?
Trossard.
Bro. Yeah, my man made Van Dijk look like spaghetti bolognese, bro.
That's what I mean, food. That's all, bro.
And people say he's up there with the Maldinis and never. Do you know what, bro? Don't put him next to Maldini. Do not put him in that. Even Vigic and Real Ferdinand or Sol Campbell. Don't put him in that level category. That's my opinion. I don't think he's nowhere near Amsterdam. He ain't nowhere near. Especially Nesta, bro. When they say he's the best of all time, come on, bro. Nesta's the best defender, and Maldini. You can't even compare.
I just feel like our defenders just kind of gone, and
yeah,
even though football's more entertaining, I don't know. I just find it like back in the day. I used to like. I'm a bit more old school, and I used to like the football where it was just more flair and just, but good defenders. Like I think all these players are like robots these days, bro. They just all remind me of robots, bro. Rather than just playing with that flair that they used to play Champions League nights and used to see all these players. Now it's just all robotic, bro. And it's the same shit, the same spamming of crosses and the same just fucking when was just go out there and just play football, bro. It's too I don't know, bro. But centre back wise, like going back to that, there's no standout at this present moment. There's potential good ones. De Ligt's a good one. Saliba's standing out and being for this first full season in the Premier League is showing top class potential. But there's no one that I would say is head and shoulders as a centre back above anyone else.
Yeah, 100%, bro. But that's the game. It's like you said earlier on, like the game is changing, the game's moving forward, and then sooner or later, bro, like you said, it's like you're always going to need a striker, but with defenders now, I think they're going to be more like technically better. The game's going to be more like only time you're going to be headed in the ball. Most of the times is when the ball comes swinging in from the left or swinging in from the right. Whereas before, you go back watch football back in the 90s, if you never had that, Man United played that counter and attack football and Arsenal played good football. But all the rest of the teams used to play the Sam Allardyce, launch the ball up. And that don't happen no more. A lot of teams
Fuad, I agree with that, but going back to like Haaland now, so how many games are we into the Premier League? 8 games into the Premier League?
Yeah.
Name me one centre-back that's put it on Haaland. Gone right through him. Fucking give it to him. Just snapped him. Fucking yellow card, whatever. Name one that's put it on him and said, I'm fucking here and I'm going to give you a tough 90 minutes. If he scores, the guy scores fucking out. Man City create 100 chances.
A lot of United fans was giving the big when they said Joe Boy would do it, but they don't realise.
But Martinez was never going to put it on him. Martinez was going to.
But who's going to? I don't even see Van Dijk doing it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I feel like.
I think defenders just, bro, listen, this guy is like 6'3" or 6'2". He just looks at people and think, who are you?
No, but when was the last time he thought, fucking hell, I may have scored today, but I was in a battle. Like they made that hard for me.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
He went home after that United game yesterday. I thought, that was chilling. Fucking quick hat trick, a little assist as well. Like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like someone needs to just put it on him. Just stop the aura of Haaland and just put it on him for 90 minutes. If he scores, look, anyone scores. He scores. Bro, if you put most strikers in that Man City team, they're going to score. But
they're going to
make him work for the goals. I'm seeing these tap-ins. I'm seeing these headers. Like, what's Eriksen marking Haaland yesterday for? Like, that's not tough for this guy. This guy's 6'3".
Getting
marked by a 5'8"
defenders back off him, innit? The defenders might have backed off him, so he thought, I'll have a pop. But anyway, boys, I think we're going to wrap it up now. Anyway, Van, Lucas, and
this fight Saturday, we need Sunday straight away, or even Saturday right after the fight. We need to talk.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind.
Even right after the fight, because this, bro, I'm looking forward to this, and the build is only going to get massive. So
yeah, I don't mind. We'll do something. I don't mind. Straight after the fight.
Straight after.
I'll see what I'm watching, and I'll inbox you. But Lucas,
don't watch that.
But I'll jump on your platform soon whenever you're ready. If you want, Luke.
Yeah, you have to, man.
Yeah, I'll jump on. I'm going to work tomorrow, but I should be free Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, man. Let me know.
I'll inbox you anyway. But anyway, boy, Lucas, thanks for jumping on. Vandy, thanks for jumping on. I'm just going to end the stream now. And after that, people, have a good evening. Thanks for joining in, and I'm out.
And
then after that, boss.